Never believed I could love again after my past. I carried the memories like jagged stones in my chest, each one heavier than the last. The kind of past that leaves you hesitant, suspicious, and most of all, convinced that the heart can only break once. It all started after him. I had loved fiercely, too fiercely perhaps, and it had ended with an echoing emptiness that I couldn't shake. The apartment we shared was filled with silence, the walls whispering reminders of laughter that now felt foreign. I promised myself I would never let someone in that deeply again. Love, I decided, was a luxury I could no longer afford. Years passed. I went through the motions, friends, dates, fleeting smiles, but nothing ever touched the raw nerve that had been severed. I told myself I was healed, but the truth was I was just surviving. Until the day I met him. It wasn't dramatic, no grand collision of fate. He was simply there, in the corner of a cafe I had stumbled into on a rainy afternoon, sketching absent-mindedly in a notebook. There was a quiet concentration in the way he held his pencil, a calmness that seemed so at odds with the storm inside me. I tried to look away, tried to convince myself he was just another stranger in my carefully guarded world. But curiosity, that dangerous spark, refused to let me. Days turned into weeks. I found excuses to go back to that cafe, to see him again, each encounter chiseling away at the armor I had built. His voice was gentle but confident. His laugh, rare but genuine, shook something in me I didn't recognize. I started noticing little things, the way his eyes lingered on the light falling through the window, how he hummed under his breath while sketching, how he somehow noticed when I didn't say a word. And then one day, as the rain tapped softly against the glass, he looked up from his notebook and said, "You always come here when it rains." There was no judgment, no expectation, just observation. And something in the simplicity of it cracked the walls I had so meticulously built. I told him my story, not all at once, not in a dramatic confession, but in fragments, the kind you share over coffee in the quiet spaces where trust begins. I told him, about the one who had left me hollow, about the nights I spent wondering if I had closed the door to love forever. And instead of recoiling, he listened. He didn't try to fix me. He simply existed alongside me, steady and unassuming. It was slow, excruciatingly slow. But love, I learned, doesn't always roar. Sometimes it seeps in like sunlight through cracked blinds, gentle but insistent, illuminating the corners of your heart you thought were lost. I felt it in the way he remembered the smallest details about me, in the way he showed up without being asked, in the quiet patience that said, without words, "I see you, all of you, and I still choose you." I never thought I would love again. I never thought I would open that fragile part of me that I had stitched shut so many years ago. But love has a funny way of finding the cracks, of sneaking past the defenses we think are impenetrable. And one rainy afternoon, as we sat in that same cafe sharing a silence that felt fuller than any conversation, I realized I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was living, I was feeling, and yes, I was loving. I never believed I could love again after my past, but here I was, heart wide open, learning that some wounds don't close, they bloom.